Annyeonghaseyo, this is meowmurai. Let's check out Formula Retro Racing World Tour running on PlayStation 5. Now this is the sequel to Formula Retro Racing, which was available on all the same systems, I think, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. Same goes here, the sequel, also available on the Switch, the various Xboxes, and the PlayStations. I was originally going to cover this on the PC, but the PC version is still in early access, and it doesn't look like it will ever leave early access. So unfortunately, if you have a PC and you want to play this game on your PC, well, you're just stuck with the early access demo, and that demo's a little rough. It's a real shame, unfortunately, that that they dropped the PC version, but you know, I'm sure there are reasons behind that. I actually quite enjoyed the original game. This one features Formula 1 cars and stock cars. Now, so you can play 4 players as well. 4 players, couch co-op, local co-op. The beginner. Oh, we picked the laps, huh? We'll start with 3. Why don't we start with the F1s? Yeah, I think we played the original on the Switch, if I remember right. So this is actually the PlayStation 4 version. There is not a native PlayStation 5 app. But, you know, PS4 games and PS5 games. Or PS4 games run on PS5, so.
3, 2, 1, go!
I know, it's actually been a while since we've plugged in the... we've turned on the PlayStation 5. Oh, it's mixed classes. Okay, I thought it would just only be F1s or only stock cars, but it's a little bit of both. Oh, interesting. We can destroy the opponents. Looks like we have some aliasing issues. I wonder what this thing runs at. Must only run at 1080p. But again, you know, this is, you know, native PlayStation 4. So probably that's where the limiter is. But it's running at 60 hertz, so, you know, that's at least a positive. Yeah, personally, I'm a real fan of flash shaded graphics. I mean, I've always kind of liked them. You know, probably one of the few people out there that actually likes the Jaguar. It's really not all the games, but you know, I love the flash shaded aesthetic. I play a lot of early PC games, you know, early 3D PC games in flat shading, and you know, I still like that look today. You know, some people are into the blocky, chunky pixels, and I'm into the flat shaded polygons.
Goal!
especially we have with modern technology. They don't have to be chunky polygons, and at least we can hopefully guarantee that they are running at 60 hertz. Of course, I think the original game had some frame drops on the Switch, but that was understandable on that platform. Here, while we're not getting frame drops, we are getting a fairly aliased image. It's a little surprising. Which is why I was hoping to play it on PC to sort of eliminate that issue, but again, looks like the PC version is abandoned. So not likely to ever get the finished version of that. I think there was some speculation that this console version didn't quite meet their sales goals, so that's why the PC version was left in the state that it's in. Again, not sure if that's true. I know the market for these kind of games is a little limited. Right, we don't have the same nostalgia for flat shaded polygons as we do for chunky pixels. But to me, this represented a really great era in gaming. Especially if you're coming in from the PC side. Lots of great flat shaded games from that era, from that 386 era, 486. Kind of dipping into the 486. A bit before the accelerated graphics card market became so dominant in PC gaming. Of course, back in these days, these kind of frame rates and resolutions we can only dream of. There's I think there's a bit of nostalgia bug when people think about their 386 flat shaded games. The Link's Golf and all the various flight simulators, but they ran rough. They did not run at frame rates getting even close to 30 most of the time. Probably our brains filled in the gaps for the low frame rates, but you certainly look at how those flat shaded games ran, and I said a good majority of the ones that were considered the most cutting edge games. They did not run what we consider very well nowadays. I remember talking to somebody who was really in love with Link's 386, and he swears that those graphics looked real, and again, that was a flat shaded polygon game. Real is probably not the right word to use when you look at that game. Certainly now, but even back then, I sort of shook my head. I think at most you could get that game to run at maybe 18 frames on the absolute most expensive system you could possibly buy. Even then, you might have gotten a tearing experience, since the refresh rates on monitors were kind of all over the place back in those days. Oh, we got an oval, huh?
Start your engines.
They didn't bother animating the crowd, huh? I guess we should have raced the stock cars on this one. I mean, it's an oval after all. I'm gonna drink. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Interesting AI. Not quite as cutthroat as the Viewstar GP game. See, they do feature drafting in this one. See the little airlines when you get behind a car. Again, I'm a little surprised at the aliasing. They didn't go for a completely clean image.
Select a course. Beginner.
It's interesting that none of this is pre-set up. You just like select
Start your engines.
the style and the number of laps. And this is the career mode. A little weird.
3, 2, 1, go!
What do we got for views here? In fact, one of my little side projects is to try to fix checker flag on the Jaguar, a game that was very famously rushed, and also has very famously poorly calibrated controls. But strangely enough, very good-looking game. Yeah, holding this PlayStation 5 controller, I am reminded of how, how good it feels. So, too bad about the stick drift. They have the absolute worst stick drift problem of all the consoles out right now. I'll even include the Switch on that one. Though I hear a lot less about the immense of problems of the stick drift in the PlayStation 5 controller.
Start your engines. Three, two, one, go!
Yeah, speaking of flat shaded racers, I'm also probably one of the few people that like the Saturn version of Virtual Racing, which is really only Virtual Racing in name only. It doesn't play like the arcade games at all. I'd say it doesn't really look well. It looks a little bit like the arcade games, but I think it was probably a mistake to call it Virtual Racing, since it was a radically different playing game. But that game had a very nice featured career mode where you'd race stock cars or you'd race different types of vehicles. The stock cars and the F1s, you had an opportunity to play those as part of the career. And I was hoping that somebody would replicate that career mode because I had a ton of fun playing it. But I've noticed the people tend to poo-poo that game. And again, I really think it's just because it has the Virtual Racing name on it. And doesn't share any gameplay. The handling was all different. And, the track variations were different. I think if they just would have called it, adrenaline racing or something of the like, I think it would have been fared better in people's minds. Yeah, but so far I like the courses in this game. A nice amount of variety. A little surprised that the draw distance isn't infinite, but, again, this is an indie project, so I do want to have, some leeway given. Although, again, the aliasing, is very distracting. And it's just not expected. Especially on a modern, flat-shaded game. I would say that's where New Star really was shining in that, even though it was a flat shaded aesthetic, it was a very crisp looking game. Yeah, those weird aliasing issues really they sort of take away some sense of the speed if you're kind of looking out at the horizon a bit and not just looking at the the lines passing underneath you on the road. But even that being said, it does play very well. I mean, it's a very playable game, very smooth control. Which is really what you want at the end of the day. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Is this a tunnel? What kind of weird ass tunnel is this?
Goal! Select a course. Beginner.
It's interesting they show that thing every single time.
Start your engines.
Like I'm 10 races in.
Three, two, one, go!
And I have turned on the music because I think the original game I had issues with the the music copyright and it striking my channel, so I didn't want to take any chances on this game. And since it's a smaller developer, you know, I don't necessarily know if they're double checking if their licenses, you know, work well with streamers. That I'm pretty sure folks like me are probably the last thing on these guys' mind. Yeah, see here the draw distance is fine.
Goal! Select a course.
Oh, I need 150 points.
Advance.
Yeah, let's try the stock cars this time. Bump up the difficulty and try the stock cars. I don't imagine these things would play terribly different.
Start your engines.
I said on the PC version, the early access version, these the handling was definitely not done.
3, 2,
Hopefully that's not the case with this version.
go!
Oh, that view basically does not work with the stock cars. They're just too high. Okay, no, this is about the same as it was on the PC. It's interesting that they slide around the way they do. Yeah, I don't know about the way the stock cars handle. So hard to get them out of sliding mode, out of drift mode, and just into straight driving mode.
Goal!
Yeah, the stock cars are
Select a course.
kind of questionable in my mind. Let's try another race with them.
Out of bounds. Start your engines. Three, two, one, go!
I mean, interesting decision to have the cars explode the way they do. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if having these star cars basically be on a little swivel is a thing I like. Especially like even just the slightest degree of turning, begins a drift.
Goal! Select a course. Advance. Start your engines. Three, two, one, go! Goal!
Ooh, damn. I was doing pretty good too. 6th place, huh? It's not like I made any mistakes. I guess I wasn't close enough to the
Advance.
to the edge.
Start your engines. Three, two, one, go!
Again, interesting choice that you can just absolutely destroy the other cars. Okay.
Select a course. Advance. Start your engines. Three, two, one, go!
Wow, that's a tough course. Oh, really tough course. Yeah, that's a tough course. You have to slow way down.
Select a course.
See, we did Santiago, right? I think we did. I think we did.
Advance. Start your engines. Three, two, one, go!
I like the chorus. I like the scenery. I don't like the aliasing. Like I said, it's really distracting.
Goal! Select a course.
Okay, why don't we stop it there? This is meowmurai. You're watching Formula Retro Racing World Tour running on PlayStation 5. Yeah, I mean this is okay. I do like it. I do think New Star GP has the better edge. Since the career mode's a lot more fleshed out. Here the career mode is just you earn points and you pick the races and you even pick the laps, which is, you know, I wouldn't normally expect that kind of setup for a World Tour mode. But as far as like the graphics are concerned and the way it runs, you know, it runs really smoothly. As you can see, there's major problems with the aliasing. I'm not sure why that is. I would think that they want as clean of an image as possible, especially on a flat shaded game. It's not the kind of visual artifact that you would think that would exist in this kind of game made in the modern day. But yeah, outside of that, you know, it's still fun to play. So if you're looking for an arcade racer that features F1 cars, then this might fill that niche. I don't know about the stock cars. I think those are kind of a miss in the way they handle. I'm glad that they're in here because then it's a little bit different of an experience, but just the constant sliding is a very odd decision to me. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.